Ladies, let me tell you something most women never voice even to themselves. When you hurt a good man, you may act strong, distant, maybe even indifferent. You tell yourself, I'm fine, he'll understand. I'll be fine without him. But deep down, a tiny voice whispers a question you dread. What if I pushed away the only man who genuinely loved me? A good man's love isn't casual, it's not flashy or loud, it's steady, intentional, patient. It quietly builds your safety, your confidence, your world. And once that love is gone, the world feels colder, nights feel lonelier, moments that were once simple and joyful now seem hollow. She fears that no one else will understand her like he did. The way he read between the lines, knew her moods, noticed the small details she thought no one else could see. She fears that no one else will fight for her, defend her, cherish her the way he did. And most painfully, she fears losing the sense of safety. His love provided a sanctuary she often took for granted until it vanished. This fear hides in quiet moments, in the stillness of early mornings, in the silence of an empty room, in the late hours. When memories creep in, she realizes she didn't just lose a man, she lost stability, loyalty, and peace. And that is what haunts her the most, because in that loss, she sees herself not just as someone who hurt another, but as someone who might never find a love so profound again. Women have an extraordinary emotional awareness, and it's this awareness that cuts deepest. After she hurts a good man, she worries about the story she left behind in his life. She fears he will remember her as the one who broke him, the one who turned his trust into hesitation, his softness into silence. This fear is rooted in empathy. She never wanted to be remembered as the bad chapter in someone's life, especially not in the life of a man who gave her gentleness when she didn't even realize its value. She feels shame not just for hurting him, but for the emotional scars he might carry, the trust he might have lost forever. Good men don't scream, they don't create chaos, they quietly walk away when hurt, leaving silence in their wake. And that silence is terrifying for her. It forces her to look inward, confront her reflection, see the consequences of her choices without distraction. There is no argument, no fight, no vindication, only her, and the truth she fears she might never repair, that damage. Even if she apologizes, the memory of her mistakes might outshine the love he once gave. And in this fear, she learns a harsh truth: the softer the heart, the heavier the impact of her actions. Gentleness she took for granted now becomes a mirror showing the woman she must grow into. Listen closely. This is the fear that remains unspoken. It's not that he is hurt. She knows that she doesn't fear his pain. No, what terrifies her is the possibility that one day he will heal, that he will rise from heartbreak, rebuild his life, rediscover his worth, and learn to love again. And it won't be her. This fear strikes at her core because a healed man becomes wiser, stronger, grounded, less easily accessible. He becomes someone she once dreamed he could be, only now the timing is wrong, and she might never be part of that version of him. The thought of seeing him thrive without her fills her with quiet panic. There is a peculiar cruelty in this fear. It's not envy, not revenge, not even regret in its simplest form. It's the dread of knowing the man who loved her unconditionally will become everything she admired, but beyond her reach. In that distance, she sees herself. Sometimes the ones we hurt most are also fortunate enough to move forward, to become whole again, to embody the life we once took for granted. Nothing frightens a woman more than realizing, while she may have been lost in her patterns, he may have found freedom, strength, and love all without her. This is the deepest fear. When she hurts a good man, it's not just about losing him, it's about confronting herself, her wounds, insecurities, impulsive decisions. That moment of self-reflection can feel like staring into an abyss. It's not losing him that truly breaks her, it's the recognition that she sabotaged something pure, something rare, not because he was flawed, but because she wasn't ready to face herself. And here's the brutal truth: it wasn't him who caused the fracture, it was her. Acknowledging this required emotional courage, maturity, honesty. She must sit with the realization: I made a choice that hurt someone I loved, and now I am responsible for the consequences. This fear stays with her because self-awareness is a mirror with no filters. There is no escape, no distraction. Yet facing it is the only path to growth, the only way to transform the pain of regret into lessons that guide her in future. In confronting herself, she discovers her power, she learns resilience, she begins to understand what it truly means to love not only another but herself. And while the process may be painful, it's the only way she can ensure that the next love she gives or receives will not be tainted by the mistakes of her past.